me anywhere. He has all the hotels, he has all the airline tickets, he has all the different packages. But if you tell him, send me anywhere, he has no idea where you want to go, so he can't help you. But if you tell him, I want to go to Maldives, I want to go for 3 days, this is my budget, this is how I want to travel, these are the people who will be going along with me, he can create the full package for you. So like that, we have to give instructions to the universe, and vision board is one of the most beautiful ways and easy ways to give that instruction.
Absolutely. So I took it as my personal mission. I wanted to just keep you informed that I took it as my personal mission to create like 1,000 vision boards all through this year. And I'm happy to inform until March, before the lockdown, I was able to reach about 288. So I'm looking forward. I'm figuring out how to do it online. But yeah, I look positive. I hope to at least create 1,000 vision boards all through this year. So whoever who's listening today, it will be really helpful. I urge the both of us probably, would say, you have all the time right now, sit and do your vision board, because I have done it, Pooja has done it, Oprah has done it, everyone who's ever been successful have done it. So please, if there's one thing that you want to, give to yourself this time, probably a vision board is something that you would do, right?
Absolutely. And once this lockdown gets over, Kartika, you need to do a lot of workshops, because people are going to be very lost. They're not going to know. These are uncertain times, and people need that certainty, and vision board gives you that certainty. So you must take uncertain people into certainty through these vision board sessions, and let me know about them. I'd love to post that on my page and send people to you.
Thank you so much. Now I wanted to ask you, just share with us a couple of quotes that which are very close to you, and that you have found that this has impacted you on various stages. If you can just remember any three.
One of them is that, you make your life hard, God makes it easy. You make your life easy, God makes it hard. That's one of my favorite quotations, because I really like to follow it. So every morning when I don't feel like going to exercise or going for my swim, in my head I'm like, okay, Pooja, you want God's hard or you want your hard? Choose. Your heart you can choose, God's heart you won't be able to choose. Whatever he throws at you, you'll have to handle. So that's one of my favorite quotes. Another quote I heard from Brian Tracy recently, which I've been really enjoying, is, it's hard till it becomes easy. So, it's hard till it becomes easy. So anytime we're trying something new and we're finding it hard, let's not complain about it, Everything initially is hard, and then it does become easy if you stick to it long enough. I love Marie Forleo, and her book is called Everything is Figure Outable. And I love that as a quote, as a mantra, as a, I have it on my mirror. Everything is figure outable. These days, because everything is to be done online, I'm not the best with technology, so I'm learning. So every day I have to tell myself, everything is figure outable. You can do the webinars, you can do the Insta Live, you can do the, So it just may take me 5 minutes more, but it's going to happen. Not just me, my mom's become such a rock star in technology. My parents are living on their own right now with no youngster to help them. And I'm seeing such a difference in them. So I think the whole world right now is going to get upgraded in technology for sure, if not anything else.
Yeah, definitely. All of this, that's beautiful. Okay, so Archana had a question. You wanted to ask something, Archana. Please type that. When picking up a path for progress, how to find a balance between following your passion at the same time getting profitability out of it? Wow, that's a good question.
How to find a balance between profitability and living your passion. Okay. So I think profitability is not something you do, it is the result. Okay. So you just get visibility plus credibility equals to profitability.
Wow.
So learning to get visible. Yeah, sure. Visibility plus credibility equals to profitability. So when you become visible, so let's say today social media allows us that. We have to become visible. A lot of coaches are sitting in their house and saying, when we lose 5 kilos, we'll make videos. When I don't have this pimple, I will make videos. When my nose is smaller, I'll make videos. They're coming up with ridiculous reasons for not starting, But visibility has its own period of, you have to go through. So you have to keep on posting likes. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of us want. Our first video will get a lot of likes because it's our first. Every relative that you know will post comment on it. But then the second video, third video, fourth video, it will keep reducing and you'll be like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Spend 3 months in posting every day without looking at results. Just keep posting, keep posting, keep posting. Visibility will start to happen and slowly you'll move into credibility. Nobody is going to give you their money if they don't trust you. And trust takes time. So you have to give, for any kind of transference of money exchange to happen, you have to build trust, and trust takes time. So do that, then spend time helping people. Whoever you can help. Today we are doing this, we are helping. In any form that you can help people, help people. When they get helped, they will come to you the day they need you. But if they've never helped anybody, your people are not coming to you just because you put your ad or poster or brochure out there. It's not going to happen. Keep helping. They may not pay you, they may recommend someone and send. You sent Priya to me. It was so fabulous. She's such a beautiful human being. I'll always be grateful to you for sending her to me. So you see how it's always like that you just keep helping without expectations, because the person you help may not give you back. But someone through will come back to you. All the goodness you put outside is going to come back to you in some form or the other. So just keep putting goodness outside. So visibility plus credibility, and that's when you start to earn money. Never chase money. Let money chase you. You know. So there are people who I say are like the honeybees. They go from flower to flower. Lot of effort, lot of energy is going out, and that's one way of being. Or else you can become the flower. Make such beautiful nectar that every honeybee gets attracted to you, and that's so much less effort, and it's a lot of who you are being. If you are vibrating and your aura is beautiful, people will get attracted to you, and that is the best way to earn money. That's true profit for me. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's all. So the only answer to her thing is, don't look for balance in life. Those 700 days there is no concept called balance. If your child needs you, attend to him. If your husband needs you, attend to him. If your work needs you, attend to your work. Don't look for balance. The day I have an event, the next day, that whole week I tell my children and my husband, sorry, I'm busy. If anybody has any emergency, call me. But once the event is over, I'll take a week off and spend so much time with them, because I'll be also so, needing them. So there's no balance. The only concept is harmony. At the end of the month, when you look back at the month, do you feel like, who needs your attention? Ask yourself. And whoever that is, go give them that attention and bring the balance back. But don't try to do 2 hours of work, 2 hours of family, 2 hours of exercise. It doesn't work. Initially your passion has to be your obsession. If anybody became successful, it's because they were obsessed with their work. And for some time we have to do that. But it all comes back into balance. That's a guarantee. Eventually everything will get balanced. But in the beginning it can't.
So true. So your wife will attract your tribe. That's what you always say, right? Your wife will truly attract your tribe. People who resonate with you eventually will come, and those who don't resonate with you will fall off, and that is okay. And that is the biggest service which will happen to yourself, because you don't want to be around people. Sometimes it's very difficult to be, just because they are there, you have to, recalibrate or readjust your style, your personality. So I think it's very important to be authentic. And sometimes, what do you think about vulnerability? Is it important to sometimes, be vulnerably open about certain things? What is your take on that?
Every soul's deepest desire is to connect. And there is no way you can connect without being vulnerable. If I create a wall of my success right now and start talking to you all about only my success, no one will understand anything. They'll be happy for me, they will be impressed by me, but no transference of energy will happen. In life, the more authentic we are, the more vulnerable we are, the more we can connect, because then the other person feels, oh my God, me too. And until the time the other person, we live in this world where we are so scared of being shamed. so quickly people judge us, and shame is really what makes us scared. So that's why we are not vulnerable. But when we reveal our story, normally most people on the other side go, oh my God, I didn't know you had gone through that. Or, oh my God, me too. And then you feel that deep connection. Now, if someone judges you when you are vulnerable, you need to remove yourself. This person was not ready for you. Not that you have to shut down and now 900 other people can't connect with you because one person hurt you. Every now and then you will meet someone. I meet some people. I'm extremely vulnerable. I'm an extremely open person where I will get completely judged. Oh, Pooja tells all these stories about her life only to earn money. She's using her life's journey to, make profit. That's their judgment, not mine. So I can't take that. Maybe somewhere in their life I say hurt people. They've gotten hurt. They have nothing else to offer. God bless them, And I'm sorry. I always apologize to people who hurt me because I said, I'm sorry that I brought this side out of yours. I wish I'd brought another side. I know you have a beautiful side inside of you, but I'm not getting to see it. Maybe my personality right now is not able to bring that out, but I hope someday I am able to, or someone else is able to, So just forgive them, move on, but never shut your beauty down. Because this world has become so artificial, so fake. Whenever a woman comes to me, one of the questions I'll always ask them, what's that one thing you hate? And most people will answer fake people, artificial compliments, or, something to do with the society being with a wall. That's the problem. If all of us started to open our hearts and include people and not judge others and not judge ourselves first, if we started to reduce the judgment, this world will be a beautiful place. If you want to know more about vulnerability, just watch Brené Brown's TED Talk on vulnerability. I think by far that's the best learning that I have had on this one topic.
Brown. So everybody just write that down, Brené Brown on vulnerability. You even told us to watch about Boundaries by Brené Brown.
Yes, she has another talk on boundaries which is only 5 minutes long. And anytime I meet any woman who has no idea how to set rules in her house or does not know how to draw boundaries, I will send her to watch that video. Go watch that video, then we will talk. Because Brené Brown really understands these concepts. She's a researcher, scientist who's turned self-help. So she's really done so much study on the topics of emotions and, perfectionism and shame and vulnerability and boundary setting and how to love openly without getting hurt. Because that's one of the problems we're going to have as we go into the world again. When women are going to start to raise, a lot more judgment is going to come because we are used to admiring men on top, but we dislike women on top. There is a certain kind of a mindset that we have where women who grow in success get disliked and men who grow in success get admired. And we have to now change that thought process. Not exchange, but just change. That anyone growing has a journey and we have to honor that. No, she's not a slut, she's not a whore, she's not a bitch, she's not a badass, she's not a... And all these labels that are put on ambitious women or women who want more in their life, we have to get rid of those labels now and truly in our service become super successful.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Takes a little time for me to even just download that data. Wow, super. So, wow, yeah. So we have to support other women, love freely, and
Forgive a lot. You have to really start to forgive. Hurt people. Whenever somebody hurts you, please feel sympathy for them. Don't feel anger, hurt, and bitterness. Feel sympathy. That poor thing must be hurting so much that they have the need to hurt me to feel better about themselves.
Yeah, that's probably a process that I'm still learning. Okay, I think it comes with a lot of resilience, practice as you become bigger and your bubble becomes strong, and when you're able to generate that light and you're overflowing, I think at that point you will be like, okay, I am here for you, and although you are there, there is I will always give this analogy where we shift in our consciousness on a daily basis, right? So this is me, all right. This is Kartika, watching Kartika, and then there is this me. I am Brahman. So this is watching this, and this is watching this. So we are always shifting through consciousness, and sometimes we are here, sometimes we are here, and sometimes we are here, and sometimes. I think it is only normal that we go through this back and forth, and I think more witnessing and sitting with yourself, and if it's happening more and more, I think it's asking you to really pay attention. Like in what they say, the diamonds have to be going through that much of sculpting has to be done before it becomes a perfect. So if you're
I agree with you 100% on that. What a beautiful analogy you gave. And yes, absolutely, we have to honor all parts of ourselves, and including the angry puja, the bitter puja, the sad puja, the hurt puja. The only thing when I experience that emotion is I ask myself, God, what is it that you want me to learn from this? What feedback are you giving me? And then I try to create a story that empowers me rather than disempowers me. And then I try to come out of it. Sometimes it takes me 2 hours, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 2 minutes, depending on which level of your analogy I'm sitting on. And the days I get angry, and I think patch-ups are one of the most beautiful things to do. So that's okay. I forgive myself as fast as I forgive others.
Okay, let's pick a couple of questions here. We have Fasha has asked you again. I want to ask a question like, who are your mentors? Who do you follow on social media? Who do you really like, and who do you admire?
Well, I mean, of course, Jack is my true mentor. How can I ever, whoever is your first teacher has that very special place in your heart, whoever that first teacher is. Because that's the first time you've come across those concepts which you didn't know existed. And then other teachers have come on board. For example, Brian Tracy, I'm a big fan of. When that man speaks, I listen. He is so amazing. We have someone called Blair Singer in our T. Harv Eker Society, where, Suren, Success Gyan, they do all these events. So he's one person, again, who I have a lot of admiration for. My friend Suren itself, he's my mentor's partly friend. But again, a very great person. I'm blessed to have attracted such amazing people into my life. To a certain extent, my own husband is my mentor. I truly respect and admire. I feel like God gave me that man in my life to show me what I could become. And every day there's a journey of me trying to be as good as him. And it keeps me motivated. I don't know if I will any longer compare who's better, who's worse. I think I've reached that place where I feel like we both are on our own journeys. But I definitely have a lot of admiration for him, and it's lovely to be married to a man you can admire. That's a gift God has given you, So, yeah, I guess these would be my mentors, yeah. For marketing, I have a teacher called Brendan Bouchard, who I'm a big fan of. I mean, he's taught me how to make money. Jack taught me what to teach. But Brendan is the one who taught me how to monetize it. So I'm forever grateful to him for the abundance he brought into my life.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Motivation Manifesto, the book that he wrote, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Kishore, again, you must be truly blessed to have found your purpose and have so many women, mothers, and have so many families. You're truly blessed. Okay, wishing you more power, Puja. All right, all of them are just thanking you. Now, I think we are at our 53rd minute. Time just flew. Thank you so much, Puja. I want to ask you, is there anything that you wanted to ask me, Puja?
Oh, wow. That's a thing. Yeah, sure. Why not? Absolutely. So you share something with us, Kartika, that will inspire other women to follow you and me. I would love to hear that moment in your life where you took your hero's journey and how you came out of wherever you were stuck.
So for me, I think one of my biggest challenges is definitely financially. I'm not, able to do a lot of things because I'm completely dependent, and I think that is a journey which I'm still working on. But that did not stop me from doing what I wanted to do. Even when I didn't have a single rupee in my hand, I did not stop it from not making that step. So there's this nice thing that you always say, and a lot of people say, it's not about you don't have the resources. You're not being resourceful. So you can talk to people, you can tell them, hey, let's do it on a barter, I'll give this service, you give your space, let's invite some people, let's just give. Serve first, like you always say, serve first, serve. And like I'm on that journey of just doing the service, even though right now I'm not able to invest on Facebook ads or do anything, but I know that this is something that I really enjoy doing. I want to be the next Oprah. I want to be talking to people. I want to be having this kind of conversation. This doesn't require any of that. So, start from wherever you are, and even if it is just with your phone, just start. You don't really need so much to start, right? Just start with whatever you have. Yes, eventually you do it 700 days enough. I think everything will start to make sense.
Thank you for sharing that story. Because you've shared that story, I want to just add, I'm doing a free webinar on the 2nd of May. And it is to help women to make money. It's on money mindset. It's on how to attract abundance, and it's on marketing strategies. Okay, I want you to come for that webinar, whether someone else comes or not. It will be very, very helpful. 90 days from the time you attend this webinar, according to me, someone should start to make the aim of whatever that amount it is that they want to make. So I want you to come on that webinar, put in the comment box how much you want to make in 90 days. And then call me up on the 90th day to tell me that you started to make that money. I want to go live in this concept and in this talk because I want you to make loads of money. Women like you have to be rich. When you have a heart made of gold, it's your duty to be rich. Okay? So I'm going to take this very personally that I need to help you become very, very rich. Not rich, very, very rich. Thank you.
You don't know how much that means to me. It's not just about the rich, just to know that when your mentor has your back and when she says things like that, that really opens up, and, I'm just blessed. I think today is, of all the things that has been happening, thank you so much. Again, I recognize your existence. Thank you for doing whatever that you're doing. And because of that you have done, you'll be able to help us together. Let's help many, many people who really need this. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the last thing down. Sorry, any last words from you, Pooja?
Women who are watching, it's your time now. So do not postpone it anymore. Things are going to change. It's going to be our time. There's always, every 10 years, there's a shift in the world. And this shift is going to serve us. It's not against us. So once you understand that this shift is for us, not against us, let's come together and truly build a new world where it's all about giving, sharing, earning, enjoying, having fun with one another, and yet being of service. Once we create, it's my vision, it's my dream, and I know it's a lot of women's vision and dream. And they say when too many people are having the same thought, that thought turns into reality. So I'm putting this thought out there for every woman to become, like Archana says, a divapreneur. I want every woman to turn a divapreneur. Ultimate happiness is when you have your identity, you have your financial freedom, and you start to deserve the respect you always had, just never earned.
Okay. Thank you so much. My God, this has been a truly, fulfilling experience for me. Thank you so much for coming on this show. Thank you so much for your sharing. For those who are not in touch with Pooja yet, please get in touch with her. Follow her on Facebook, follow her on Instagram. Go to every program she does. I completely vouch for it. It has changed my life and it will change your life. This is the last thing done story. I am Special K. We are signing out with Pooja. Say bye, Pooja.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye. Super.